We're going to kick off the game that I was at yesterday, Stamford Bridge. Brilliant, brilliant game. First off, one thing I've got to say, what a pleasure to be there. It was the best game I've been at, certainly the first 45, in a long time. It was just electric. The Liverpool fans, there's always that animosity, and they, without the fans, you don't get that. Over the last couple of seasons, when we play teams, it's just not the same. But yesterday, the atmosphere was electric. Both sides going for it. A brilliant, brilliant game. And at the end of it, I just heard Johnny Owen and Mark Webster talking about how some of the players, they're getting through these games. At the end of it, the game, I don't know if you remember, but Chelsea and Liverpool players, half of them flat on their back. I don't know whether you saw it on the telly, but they were just laid across. They gave absolutely everything to it. It was a brilliant, brilliant spectacle. What did you make of it, Dino?
Well, right from the start, from the kickoff, we got Mane's challenge.
Talk about the red card.
Which I think added to the atmosphere.
Yes, of course, yeah.
That, for me, red card. That's a red card for me.
I think it's a red card, but it's a subjective one. I heard Dermot Gallagher talking on the TV this morning, saying he thinks it's a yellow. Other pundits think it's a red. I think it's a red, but because it happened so early in the game, you don't get them, do you? You don't get when was the last time you ever saw a red card in the first 10 minutes, let alone 30 seconds?
Well, the referee doesn't want to make a rod for his own back by flashing a red, and then every challenge he's under pressure. So they tend to let him go. Tony Adams and people like you, who used to jump down the backs of my legs in the first minute and think you could get away with it.
Yeah, well, back then you used to be able
and then hold your finger up and going, ref, first one.
You're
That's
allowed the first one.
And the ref will go, hey, that's it, no more.
That's it. Well, you're hopping around with studs, holes in your socks.
Yeah. It's called a reducer. Slow him down.
That's right, yeah.
Anyway, that's a red card from the start, and then they go up and Trent Arnold makes a mistake, tries to clear the ball. Pulisic goes round the keeper, gets his hand on it. Luckily, great save. They go up the other end, goal.
Yeah. You see, if Trent make a mistake and then Trevor makes a mistake, one's punished, one's not. And that can be the difference in games that size sometimes.
Yeah, I just think if you look at the overall picture, I would think 2-2, Liverpool disappointed not to win from 2-0 up, but I think Chelsea deserved to win the game overall.
It was probably do you know what? Over the 90 minutes, Dino, I felt Chelsea were the better side, but with the chances created, and don't forget, Salah only went through. Trevor made a challenge. Second half, Salah's had a shot, and Mendy's done exceptionally well. His positional sense was a little bit all over the place, but I felt Chelsea were the better side. But that red card would change the game. It will change it. Chelsea probably go on and win it from there because of the dominance that we had in the middle of the park. But it was just a brilliant, brilliant game.
Well, yeah, you said dominance. I thought Liverpool's midfield player, first time I've seen them get run over. They got run over. Kante and Kovacic. I think Kante, you thought Kovacic was, I know you thought he was the player of the weekend, but I watched Kante closely. He is a machine.
He's a monster, mate. Honestly.
He got left last man a couple of times with Salah and outpaced him.
Yeah, I've never seen anyone in all the time I've watched football, and I've watched a hell of a lot. I've never seen anyone win the ball back or win the ball as many times in a game as he does.
He's a freak of nature.
Yeah, he does, and he gets there every single time. Every time. Him and Kov were outstanding on the day. But 2-2 it was. But let's talk about the elephant in the room. Just before I do that, some fresh reports are coming out suggesting Real Madrid, Juve, PSG, and Bayern München have opened pre-contract talks with Chelsea's Antonio Rudiger and his representatives. Of course, they can do that now. He's out of contract in the summer, and he can talk to whoever he likes as long as it's outside of England, and those talks have started, and he's in a very, very good position. I think Chelsea still would love to, in fact they would love to sign him, but at the moment Real Madrid, Juve, PSG and Bayern Munich, that's not a bad 4 teams to be after you, Dino, is it? You're playing for Chelsea, and you've got Real Madrid, Juve, PSG and Bayern Munich chasing you.
He's trying. He switched off for Salah's goal, totally switched off when Salah got in behind, and Salah then made it look worse by brilliantly looking inside, giving him the eyes. He done Silva and Azpilicueta. Alonso it was. He's dragged it, and he's done the keeper then, looking in the far corner and dragging it inside the knee post. But Rudiger knocked off, and Kovacic did, because the ball got switched out to the right to Trent Arnold eventually. But Henderson made a run out to the right wing. Kovacic followed him and then switched off, started looking at the ball. Rudiger looked at the ball, and Trent Arnold's flicked the ball over the pair of them. He's in. But you're right, 4 good clubs to be chasing him. But, you can't point the finger at Rudiger because he looks to me as if he's trying.
Oh no, listen, no.
He's not chucked the towel.
No, he hasn't. No, not at all, not at all. But of course, in this position, he's in a great position right now. He won the Champions League last year. He has been excellent under Tuchel. He has probably been one of the most improved players. It suits him in a 3. In a 4 under Frank, he struggled a bit, I've got to say, but in a 3, he has been absolutely outstanding. So, be interesting to see exactly how that one plays out. I'll repeat that again. Fresh reports coming out suggest Real Madrid, Juve, PSG, Bayern Munich have opened pre-contract talks with Antonio Rudiger's representatives. But let's talk about the elephant in the room, Lukaku.
Oh, well, I mean, when it all kicked off, and I waited for Tuchel to see what he was going to do, I was thinking, what? Because I've been in that position. You know, when you're managing, you get these dilemmas. And you sit down in a room on your own and you think, right, I can't believe what he's done. I can't believe he's come out with what he's come out with.
It's remarkable, isn't it? It's remarkable.
My only thought is I can't lose the group of players I've got. I can lose one player. I might have to sacrifice one player. Otherwise, I lose the group. If I let him off that, then I've got youngsters doing it to me, coming out and saying what they like. I can never have a go at them for doing interviews. So, do I put my foot down now and show everyone who's boss, or do I cut my nose off to spite my face and not play him in the biggest game of the season? Or can I find another solution? Leaving him out, I thought you've got to win. If you leave him out of the team against Liverpool, he's just scored against Villa. He's playing well. You've got to win this game. Otherwise, you're going to get criticised. And I don't know. It's a real difficult situation. I've heard a lot of people saying that what he said was outrageous. I don't particularly think it was as bad as what everyone said, what he did come out with. But what I would say is you've got to be clever enough and sensible enough. If you're playing for Chelsea, the Chelsea fans expect you to play for Chelsea until they've had enough of you.
Well, I can't. It's so unnecessary what he said. You know, when you first read it, you don't know whether. And of course, the interview was done a month ago, and you do think, okay, what was the situation a month ago? Since then, he's had his injuries. He's also had COVID. He's now back in the team. But it makes no sense to me at all. Honestly, a lot of people at the club are very disappointed, including me. You know, you read that when you see the whole thing. Because when I first heard about it, you thought, has this been taken out of context? Has it been lost in translation? How does it read? But when you see it and you hear it, you come away thinking, totally unnecessary. Totally unnecessary. And he's got a bit of making up to do. And of course, he didn't play yesterday. He was left out. I personally would have had him on the bench. But he was left out the squad completely. And Chelsea play Spurs on Wednesday evening in the Carabao Cup semi-final. Will he play in that? Who knows? There's also the FA Cup at the weekend also. Get your calls in, 03717 22 3344. You're listening to Drive here on talkSPORT with Jason Cundy and Dean Saunders.